Hello, welcome to RL Action, and we've got a packed programme for you tonight. The match is Hull KR versus Widnes, with the results of last week's competition and a brand new competition. And the prize for this one is a full Great Britain playing strip and a day at Hull for the test match against France on March the 6th. Before that, of course, Great Britain play in France on February the 20th at Carcassonne. The Great Britain team announced today is as follows: Mick Burke of Widnes, Des Drummond of Lee, Ronnie Duane of Warrington, John Joyner of Castleford, Gary Clark of Hull KR, Tony Myler of Widnes, Andy Gregory of Widnes, Mike O'Neill of Widnes, Brian Noble of Bradford Northern, Andy Goodway of Oldham, Len Casey of Hull KR, he's the captain, Alan Rathbone of Bradford Northern, Terry Flanagan of Oldham, and the substitutes are John Woods of Lee and Peter Smith of Featherstone. And the match referee will be Mr. Don Wilson of New Zealand. Well, that's the team. Let's now get a reaction from some of those who've been selected. And first of all, the captain, Len Casey.
Well, I think it's a tremendous honour. It's certainly nice to be under Frank Marler again.
How much do you know about Frank, and how much have you played and worked with him?
Well, I played 2 internationals under Frank in France, and I think he got a bit more out of me than a few other Great Britain coaches have done.
Andy, as the scrum half in possession of the Great Britain jersey, how do you see the game in France at Carcassonne going?
Well, the under-24s had a marvellous win in France, and the full squad go over in February, and I hope to repeat the performance. You know, I hope to be part of it. You know, it all depends on Frank Marler and Dick Gemmell.
Gary, congratulations on being chosen for the senior side. How do you feel about it?
Well, Keith, it's not just sunk in yet, but I think it will when I have a drink over yonder. And I just can't believe it. You know, it's a hell of a season for me. I mean, it's a year today that I signed professional for Rovers, so it's a nice thing to remember it by, being announced in the Great Britain side.
You got a hat-trick against the under-24s at Carpentras. You've obviously no fears against the French.
Oh, no, it was... I think you worry about every team what you play, but I think the French more so because they're a very hard side. But we just went out there with, you know, Frank and Dick, we got us going, and the team spirit was superb, and just knocked them back out the game. Tackling 20 minutes, they didn't want to know. And it really surprised me, the French, you know, so I thought they were just going to come back and back. So, you know, I hope we can do it in Carcassonne.
Well, no wonder he's pleased. And of course, he was in the Hull KR side against Widnes yesterday, which is exactly where we're going right now. Colin Hutton, Hull KR chairman, presented Gary with his under-24 badge, and he also received a silver salver as Rugby League Player of the Month for December. But on with the game, commentary from Keith Macklin.
Although Rovers have lost their last 2 games at Lee and St Helens, they'd won the previous 8 Division 1 games and are in 3rd place in the championship table with 13 wins and 6 defeats. They've lost just 2 games at Craven Park this season against Australia and in the league against Wigan. And there's a great battle in prospect at scrum half. The number 7 for Hull Kingston Rovers is Gordon Smith, the New Zealand test player who's just signed a new long-term contract with Rovers. Widnes, well, they're having an unusually mediocre season by their own high standards. They stand 8th in the table after beating Featherstone Rovers on Tuesday. And of their 18 games, they've won 10, lost 1 and drawn 7. But they have won 3 of their last 4 away games. And their test scrum half and holder of the Great Britain number 7 jersey is Andy Gregory. And he must be favourite for the position against France at Carcassonne on February 20th. It's Widnes to kick off. Widnes wearing a strip of all red. Rovers in their usual colours. White jersey, red stripe. Millington had the ball taken off him in the tackle, and there's Gregory on the move already. And on the Widnes side, we've got Lydon and Basnett wearing 2 and 5, but playing on the opposite wings. Referee Stan Wall of Lee. Kamati. And a flag is up, the touch judge's flag is up. This could be a penalty to Widnes. Millington, I think, the offender. Burton, in fact, is the man who offended. Penalty to Widnes. McBurk looking for his 59th goal of the season. And he's kicked it. McBurk, another player well in line for the Great Britain side at Carcassonne. Elwell to Gregory, O'Neill. And back to Gregory. This elusive little man. Quickly, Tamati, no width in this attack. Knock on, says referee Mr. Wall. So they'll scrum down. Well, Dave Watkinson has a pretty good strike record so far against Keith Elwell. That's another penalty for illegal feeding. So Widnes, well, you win some, you lose some. Gordon Smith and David Watkinson have been winning the ball, but twice they've given away penalties. This is Eric Prescott on the drive. Hogan, the short ball to Tamati. Elwell, Hogan, Gregory, firing the long one out to Cunningham. Cunningham's got Basnett inside him. Basnett going strongly for the line. Basnett. O'Neill, Gregory, good one too, and Adams bounced out of his hand. Rovers possession. This is Crome to Muscroft. Good tackle by Lydon. And touch. Oh, what a strange sequence this has been, with 6 scrums in a row, all on or around the Rovers 25. This time Gregory comes away with it, gets it out to Adams. Adams trying to open it up, does. Oh, what a good smother tackle by Hall. Good experienced defence that. It was 4-2 on that side if Hall hadn't come in, but still Widnes are on attack. This is Gregory. Hughes, head tackle, but not a dangerous one. Mr. Wall not penalising it. Hughes, O'Neill, Adams. Rovers tackling hard. Hogan. Dumming to slip a pass out. Eric Prescott put down off the ball. And I think the touch judge will be on to report that.
Watch number 8, Brian Hogan. He's the distributor, turning on back inside and off the ball there to the left of the picture. Eric Hughes, the blonde-haired boy, goes down, and this looks like a penalty to Widnes.
The penalty awarded, an off-the-ball tackle on Prescott. It certainly was a good dummy by Brian Hogan. Prescott knocked down a penalty. McBurk's second kick at goal. Looks straight and easy. McBurk's 60th goal of the season. Hull Kingston Rovers 0, Widnes 4. The Widnes bench with Doug Lawton and Brian Lockwood on the right. Strong just outside the Widnes 25. What a good push by Rovers. Gordon Smith going after it like a rugby union scrum half. Beavering for it. Mr. Wall not happy. Well, fun and games going on, I think, there. And Mr. Wall's going to pull somebody out. Kevin Tamati. For New Zealand, Kevin Tamati. 10 minutes in the sin bin. Well, there's a bit of rough stuff in the scrum then, a heaving and a swirling of bodies, and Kevin Tamati pulled out. 10 minutes in the bin. And a penalty to Rowan. George Fairbairn. Looking for his 65th place kick goal of the season. Scored in the last 19 games for Hull Kingston Rovers, 19 in a row. If he puts this over, it'll be the 20th. But he's got this win to contend with. It's wide and still in field. It could have been a nasty one. Gregory picked it up. Cunningham. The tackling pretty firm and hard this afternoon. Cunningham going up the touch line. Not a lot of room left. Adams. O'Neill. Adams with the kick. Fairbairn. Casey to Hall. Hartley, the long one. High. Too high for Peter Musgrove. Musgrove. Wasn't in properly. That was, and Smith has it with Musgrove outside him. Good tackle by Gregory. Prone. Smith. Crooks. Held. Nicely picked up by Smith. Good running. Tried to get it out, and Widnes have it. It's O'Loughlin who picked that up. This is Hogan. Cunningham. Oof. My word. Irresistible force and immovable of object. Word of mouth. Adams, I think, spoke out of turn. Penalty. And another one. Well, if a few more oaths and imprecations, then it'd be under the sticks. That's Prone going. They decided not to kick. Hull Kingston Rovers on attack from those two penalties for dissent, you might call it. Smith. Burton. And the tackling getting really rough and uninhibited. Smith going the other way. Prone. Hartley. The fullback's up there. Clark, he's in. Gary Clark, a lovely try.
Well, brilliant play in these conditions. The crucial thing is the change of direction of attack here at this point by Gordon Smith. Then watch for George Fairbairn coming into the line now. And a nice transfer by the experienced David Hall, very well taken by young Gary Clark. And he has the pace to beat Brian Hogan in the corner. A fine try in these conditions to Hull KR.
And I wonder if that's the sort of magnificent finishing that could get Gary Clark a place in the senior England side when it's announced tomorrow. No, the wind pulling it away at the last moment. Hull Kingston Rovers 3, Widnes 4. A minute of normal time in the first half. Here's Smith to Casey. Burton. Watkinson, Smith, Hartley, Fairbairn, slipping one tackle, slipping two, going well! Oh, George Fairbairn running well, looking for Clark. Clark's gone inside him. Oh, what a 30-yard burst by George Fairbairn in the closing second of this first half. Hall to Smith. Watkinson, Hartley. Hartley still going, Robinson to Musgrove, and into touch. And there's the hooter, a dramatic finish to the first half. Hull Kingston Rovers 3, Widnes 4, 2 penalty goals from Mick Burke, and a try from Gary Clark, his 19th of the season. Hull Kingston Rovers 3, Widnes 4, plenty more action in the second half. Join us for that. Welcome back to Craven Park, Hull. For his comments on the first half, David Oxley.
An enjoyable half, difficult conditions, heavy going and freezing fingers, making life very difficult for the players. So mistakes have been, and defences on the whole on the top. Inevitably, most of the play in that first half in the Rovers half, but they tackled well and looked the more dangerous side when they were in possession. Both sides must watch the discipline. There have been too many needless penalties given away, and professional rugby league football is about discipline. It's also about fitness and courage, and these are the qualities which are going to determine the winner in this lively second half.
Rovers have changed their jerseys in the second half. A clean strip, a muddy afternoon. Widnes in the jerseys they went off in as Burke tries to break through. Widnes leading 4-3. O'Neill. Hogan. Gregory, oh, little Gregory's going through himself onto the 25. Such an elusive little man. Hogan. And interception by Hartley. Hogan looking around him to say, where are my teammates? Hartley. Smith. Crooks. Some really thudding tackles going in again this half. That's Burton. Clark. Most peculiar way of playing the ball, but it's within the laws. As Clark was swung round. That's Fairbairn now, chance of a break. But Smith, well smothered by O'Loughlin. Hall, good dummy by Hall. Now, and the ball knocked down. Anybody's ball. Rovers have it. Millington. Frome. Musgrove. Watkinson, Smith, Crooks. It is Smith going down the middle. Splendid battle between these two tigers of the scrum halves this afternoon. Casey, the short ball to Burton on the burst. Burton has got Clark outside him and couldn't get it out. But Burton's still going, looking for support, wanting somebody to take this ball. And that was on the sixth tackle. Well, I think Chris Burton might have done better to put that out to Gary Clark. Widnes in possession. There's Lydon. Lydon on the touchline, lost possession. Fairbairn. Throw. He's lost it. Rovers lucky to get that back, but back at that they have Millington, Casey, sending it left, a lot of bodies there. Widnes possession now. The ball slippery. Adams, O'Loughlin, Gregory, Prescott. Elwell to Gregory. O'Neill. Gregory. Gregory finding a gap and scooting through it. The tiniest gap, and Gregory's through it. Cunningham, Adams. Offside. Steve Hartley, the prime offender. Penalty to Widnes. Taken very quickly by Adams. To Tamati. To O'Loughlin. Just outside the Rovers 25 now. Widnes leading 4 points to 3. Adams, Prescott. Prescott finding a gap and going through on the 25, but no one at his elbow. Cunningham, Gregory, Cunningham around him. Gregory, the dummy by Adams, a long one to Burke. Burke's going himself and it's over. Mick Burke, a lovely try. Beautifully worked move, the dummy by Adams and the try by Burke.
Well, watch for this fine piece of play by Mick Burke. The run around between Adams and Gregory. And the long ball which disrupts the Rovers' defence. Number one, Mick Burke, there he is, selling the dummy. The advantage always with him on this heavy ground. And in for a very important try to Widnes.
But it's wide. He had problems with this nasty wind. But that stretches the Widnes lead to 7 points to 3. Hartley. Hartley going himself. Looking for Clark. Now Clark. He gets it out to Fairbairn, to Smith. Rovers keeping it moving. Crooks on the big drive. 5 yards to go. Crooks throws it out. Going to be picked up by Millington. Widnes tackling desperately. Hall to Fairbairn. And into touch. We've seen some really powerful tackling this afternoon. Really hard game of rugby. Gregory nipping away with that. What a battle these two scrum halves have had. Great Britain international, New Zealand international. Adams. Elwell. Gregory. O'Neill coming on the burst. Hogan. Hogan brought back to Widnes. Excellent forward to run off. Always tries to make the half break and get the ball out. Gregory, Tamati. Elwell is acting half back. That's Adams. Adams. Cunningham lock on. Widnes a little happy in the hull at the moment. Doug Lawton looks rather tense, only 4 points in it. Widnes have possession. Adams. Gregory, Tamati. Gregory. O'Loughlin. Prescott. Gregory and everything. Good long pass. Adams to Lydon. No room on the touchline for Joe Lydon. Fifth tackle, sixth coming up. O'Neill managed to slip it out. And a scrum. Come close to the halfway line. Widnes leading by 7 points to 3. Widnes possession, but Gregory, you can see what happened there. Mr. Wall has already shown he's not prepared to suffer dissent. And this could be particularly costly for Widnes because Rovers have the win now and George Fairbairn will certainly elect to kick at goal. And already a Rovers sub is warming up. Phil Lowe warming up on the touchline to be pitched into the fray. And if George Fairbairn lands this one, it'll be 5-7. And amazing what part dissent can play in a game, because Gary Clark's try for Hull came after Widnes had conceded 2 consecutive penalties for dissent, and Rovers ran it. And this could be a further 2 points, and Len Casey, in fact, is coming off to make room for Phil Lowe. Len Casey, of course, been out of the game for a while, slowly working his way back. Yes, 5-7. Widnes warming up their backstop. David Hume on the touchline. And he's gone on for Eddie Cunningham. David Hume. Another young lad out for international honours. Widnes have it with Hughes. Burke up in the line. O'Loughlin. Basnett. Gregory to Adams. Gregory. O'Neill. He's broken clear of 3 tacklers. Mike O'Neill, a good strong burst, shrugged off 3 men, then it looked as if they'd manacled him, but now Widnes moving forward with Gregory. Slipping it out to Adams, getting as far as the 25. Hogan. Getting it out well to Tamati. Getting it out to Elwell's in! Fairbairn, I think, is querying the touchdown, but a lovely move.
Great play by the Widnes front row here. It's big. Mick Hogan.
Tamati making the final pass to Elwell. Hull Kingston Rovers 5, Widnes 12. Rovers ball, a vital one. Smith going for the line himself. Gets to within 5 yards. Still Rovers now. They need a try to get back into this game. Prone. Smothered. Paul Watkinson. Robinson getting it out. The try scored. George Fairbairn linking up from fullback puts Rovers back in this match.
Well, great play by Ian Robinson here. Watch him come onto this ball. It looks as though the move has gone stale. Here he comes now onto the ball, tearing into the heart of the Widnes defence and still managing to slip the ball to the supporting Fairbairn. Intelligent play by George, and didn't he enjoy that try?
He doesn't miss it. 10-12. So we're going to have a boiler of a finish. How long to go? I think George Fairbairn was asking the referee then. We can tell him it's just over 5 minutes by our watches. A scrum. Hull Kingston Rovers must win and pray for a little injury time. No, Gregory has it. Burke's up in the line and going himself. And there's the hooter, that's it. Tremendously hard-fought game. Yet another close finish between these two. Hull Kingston Rovers 10, Widnes 12.
So that was Hull KR's third defeat in a row. Let's get David Ox's reaction to the events of that very exciting game.
An important game for both sides, so it was always going to be close and tight, but we had more good football and entertainment value than perhaps we had a right to expect in the very difficult conditions prevailing today.
On the Hull Kingston Rovers side, obviously they were very disappointed at the result, but could you pick out any of their stars?
I think Gordon Smith had a cracking game, a great duel with Andrew Gregory, about even Stephen, but they two little bantams were going full 80 minutes with each other and setting up a lot of play to Gordon Smith. I think George Fairbairn also, when he came into the line, caused a lot of problems for the Widnes defence, but it must be said that in the second half especially, Widnes tackled very, very well indeed and used the ball extremely well into the teeth of the gale.
Widnes look as if they're coming good again, just in time for the end of the season and the cup ties.
That's right, it happens so often, doesn't it, with the Chemics, and they're looking very, very strong. Certainly Leeds are going to have all on when they play at Norton Park on Saturday.
You've already mentioned Gregory. What about the performance of such as Mick Burke and Mick Adams?
Very solid, experienced forwards up front there for Widnes. Mike O'Neill playing extremely well. Won't have done his chances any harm for international selection. The experienced Brian Hogan and Keith Elwell, I thought, scuttling away from acting halfback and gaining valuable ground, which was always important in the heavy conditions that we had today. Mick Burke, a very princely fullback, and of course scored that marvellous try, which really set Widnes on the road to victory.
Looking at these two sides, which through the past few years have been the two top sides in the game, can you see them both going a long way in the cup?
Oh, I don't see why not. Rovers, of course, the third successive narrow defeat in the league, and that's never a good record to take into a cup competition. But they have talent, and I'm sure Roger will get them together again, and I think they'll go a long way, yes.
Well, I'd certainly agree with that. But now let's see how yesterday's game affected the league placings. Leeds, with an easy win at Halifax, went back on top. Hull, beaten at Warrington, go down to second place. Hull KR drop below St Helens, and Widnes move into the top 8. The bottom doesn't change. Carlisle's match was postponed, and more of them later. The top match was undoubtedly Fulham versus Salford. Fulham won 17 points to 9, and they stay top. Wakefield move into second place, beating Whitehaven 18 points to 7, and the bottom placings remain the same. And now the top try scorers after yesterday's games. Bob Eccles of Warrington leads the way with 25. John Crossley of Fulham has 20. Gary Clark of Hull KR has 19. And in fourth place, Steve Evans of Hull with 17. The top 10 goal scorers are in first place, Steve Diamond of Fulham, who equalled his own club record yesterday. He now has 93. In second place is Steve Hesford of Warrington with 83. And third, Lee Crooks with 78. But now back to Carlisle. They very nearly went into liquidation on Friday, and they should have played Lee yesterday, but that match was postponed. Now, if Carlisle don't finish the season, their complete record is expunged. And if that happened right now, then this is how the league would look. On the left, the current league table. On the right, the table without Carlisle's matches. Now, that puts both Featherstone and Bradford Northern into the relegation area. But If a team does not complete a season in Division 1, only 3 sides go down and not 4. Incidentally, 4 teams would still be promoted from Division 2, and let's all hope that situation doesn't arise. Well, now the results of last week's top tries competition. Judge Alex Murphy put Dane O'Hara of Hull 3rd, John Basnett of Widnes 2nd, and this was the magnificent winning try, which I think we'll all enjoy seeing again. It's a really great one, and I think a worthy winner of a nice competition.
Scott to Campbell, to Ramsdale, flying out to Gill, but there's no way through yet. Gill's coming infield now for the line, and he's going in, and there it is!
Well, this video cassette programme made by Televista Studios of Leeds goes to the winners, and here they are. Mr. F. Attack of Milnes Bridge, Huddersfield, Mrs. B.E. Hamilton of Bradford, K. Pearson of Castleford, Paul Connor of Warrington, and Mrs. M. Reed of Doncaster. And now for this week's competition. We're going to ask you 3 questions about last year's 2 test matches against France. Here's question 1. In the first test, played at Hull on the 6th of December 1981, a Great Britain player scored a hat-trick of tries. Who was it? Question 2. The return match was played in France a fortnight later on the 20th of December. Where was the match played? And question 3. The same man refereed both tests. Who was he? Well, the prize is a complete Great Britain strip and a trip to Hull for 2 people to see the test match on the 6th of March. And answers on a postcard, please, to RL Action, Yorkshire Television, Kirkstall Road, Leeds LS3 1JS. And don't forget your own name and address on the back, please. Well, we've no programme next week, but we'll announce the winners in 2 weeks' time when our match will be Wigan versus Hull KR. Until then, we leave you with the try by a young man who signed professional forms exactly 1 year ago, and today was selected for the Great Britain team. From me, a very good night to you. Good night.
Smith going the other way. Frome, Hartley. The fullback's up there. Clark is in. Gary Clark, a lovely try.